E.N.D here. URO, Titan of Nature's Wrath, is one of the 2 titans spoiled for Magic the Gathering and for Theros beyond that. These titans, they are very strong creatures. We thought it was going to be a cycle, but only 2 will be released for Theros beyond that. And one of them, as I said, is URO. For a 3-drop, that's 1 green and 1 blue. It's a 6/6 legendary creature, Elder Giant. It's a mythic card. It's a titan. When it enters the battlefield, you need to sacrifice it unless it escapes. Therefore, if you didn't cast the spell for the escape cost, you need to sacrifice it. But whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, you gain 3 life and draw a card. Then you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. The escape cost is 2 green and 2 blue, and you need to exile 5 other cards from your graveyard. Therefore, let's see how to play this particular card, URO, Titan of Nature's Wrath. Let's build our battlefield. Let's put our URO on top of our library. This is our battlefield. We have creatures, we have lands, we have our deck, we have our graveyard. Let's draw the card. And we're going to play URO, Titan of Nature's Wrath. You need 1 green and 1 blue, so I'm going to tap my blue and my 2 green lands. That will give me enough mana to cast URO. I'm going to cast URO. At this stage, the cards goes normally on the stack. It can be countered, it can be responded. If the spell resolves, the creature enters the battlefield. As soon as it enters the battlefield, I need to sacrifice it because I didn't play it for the escape ability. Therefore, it hits the battlefield, the enters the battlefield ability kicks in, triggers, so I will gain 3 life, I will draw a card, so I will draw a card. Then I can put a land card from my hand onto the battlefield. Therefore, I'm going to put a land card from my hand into the battlefield, and I can put it as untapped, because it doesn't specify that enters the battlefield, unless obviously you have a shock land or any cards, scry land that tells you it enters the battlefield tab. So I'm going to put my land card on the battlefield. I have gained 3 life, I have drawn a card, and obviously URO, Titan of Nature's Wrath, is sacrificed. And I will put it back. I will untap my card, my lands. I will put a land card. Now I have enough lands to play the escape cost of URO, Titan of Nature's Wrath, because it's 2 green and 2 blue. And I need 5 other cards to exile 5 other cards from my graveyard. I have 5 other cards in my graveyard. I'm going to tap my 2 lands and my 2 green and 2 blue. I'm going to exile 5 cards from my graveyard. So it's 1, it's 2, it's 3, it's 4, and it's 5. I had enough cards in my graveyard to play the escape cost of URO. URO enters the battlefield. I cast URO for the escape cost. At this stage, the spell is on the stack. It can be countered, it can be responded. If it's resolved, it enters the battlefield. When it enters the battlefield, URO, I gain another 3 life. I will draw a card. And I can put a land card from my hand onto the battlefield. Because now I cast it for the escape cost, I don't need to sacrifice it, and I have a 6/6 Elder Giant legendary creature in play. As soon as I attack, I will again gain 3 life, I will draw another card, and I will put another land card from my hand onto the battlefield. If URO dies, it goes again in the graveyard, unless there are spells that like Leyline of the Void, which will remove the card from the graveyard and exile it. It will go again in the graveyard, and when I have another, let's say, 5 other cards in my graveyard, I can cast it again for the escape cost. I will cast it again for the escape cost, it enters the battlefield, I will gain 3 life, you will draw another card, and you will put another land card from your hand. This is a very, in my opinion, very powerful card. You have to remember that's a 3-drop, and it's a 6/6. The escape cost is 4. Obviously you need the 5 other cards from your graveyard, but Theros Beyond Death has quite interesting cards that will let you put cards from your deck to the graveyard. So therefore, if you have one of these cards, I think this card will see quite a good amount of play in Standard, Pioneer, maybe Modern, but especially Commander and Brawl. I hope you liked this tutorial. This is a very simple tutorial how to play this card. Obviously, I'm sure there will be decks, Brew decks, that will get a lot of advantage out of this particular card. Subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos like this one about cards in Theros Beyond Death and in future Magic the Gathering sets.